forgot to go to my mom. I was like, wow, how
Previously in What is Love?
exciting. If my mom pulled one out, I thought it was exciting as well because I was like, you know, she's a boss and she's also defending herself. So he wasn't absent because she made him present, but he was absent in a lot of points. So I do think that it does affect your outlook on love. And sometimes I think that men that have money or men that are, you know, of status who think that just support or, you know, a phone call or if I go over there and see him for a little bit, that's good enough, and it's not, because little girls do need their dad. Yeah. I'm at my peak when I'm giving love.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, like I said earlier, I think I'm so passionate. Like
because it was referring to that point of being passionate. So
yeah. So when I like to give love, right? And then when it becomes, there's a turning point in my life where it's like, then I start to get the love back and I'm like, whoa, hold on, you know, like, so yeah, I think I'm at the best when I'm giving love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Normalize women of color having an open space to realize their desires. Which leads me to ask, when I read that line from you, it made me think of Nina Simone.
Tell you what freedom is to me, no fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, that's the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it is something to really feel.
Sense of, you know, no fucking fear at all.
Yes.
So I was just curious to ask you that question. So in the span of this love thing, in your writing, what is freedom to you?
Freedom is within, right? And I do agree with Nina Simone, freedom is no fear.
Mm-hmm.
So freedom, I have conversations with people sometimes and like, I feel like they're trying to like battle my ideologies, right? And it doesn't matter because I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a sense of freedom. When you know who you are, you know what your purpose is, you know like what the motive is and where you're trying to get at, that's freedom to me. So definitely no fear and knowing as well, like you're gonna walk in rooms and people are not gonna like you all the time, people are not gonna like what you have to say, they're gonna want to debate you, you know, or belittle you. And you have to be able to stand 10 toes, like, you know, that's freedom.
Okay. With law, you were saying, mentioning it to the community. And
Okay. All right, hold on.
take it
So I don't think that there's bad people. I think people do bad things. I think that based on the circumstances that you grow up in, you make decisions. So, for example, I don't think my father's a bad person. I think he grew up with limited resources. So he did what he had to do. You know, like I think my parents were both really good people. They just did what they had to do to provide and they weren't given those resources. It was very different times. Also, it's kind of like systematically we're oppressed, right? If we want to go there. So we're not given the chances that a lot of people are. So if you grow up in a community even like this one, the chances are that you're not going to go to college. I have the perspective of a lot of the times I know a lot of men aren't being heard. It's just because women want to hear what we want to hear. And I understand it, you know what
really?
I feel like certain women do, right?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just letting you get that on camera.
Yeah, no, for
We
real.
got that on camera, fellas.
So I do feel that, and I feel like it's sad, right? Because you're not being heard, and it's taught that like a man is supposed to be the way a man is supposed to, so then it translates into a relationship.
For sure.
And then that translates into trauma in the relationship, and not being able to be transparent with your partner and communicate. So yeah, I think it is limited with men, and with certain women as well. It's just a different type of trauma.
Do you know why many of you are betrayed? You reveal things to people you love, not people who love you.
You're right. Like, what inspires you there?
So I wanted to be an artist. Like I thought I could sing, I thought I could rap, and
Rap?
yeah, for real,
Okay.
it was real crazy. My sister and my mom, because I do have a picture of when I was 5 when my mom bought me like a karaoke machine, and that's like my favorite picture. And I think that they just love me so much, and I was kind of like, a wild child, like always had like an attitude and always was like trying to do something different. So they always would inspire me. Like she would tell me I would be like Beyonce, which is fucking insane because that's not true. I cannot sing like Beyonce. So then I tried to do like poetry and spoken word. It just wasn't my thing. Like I love it. Like I love attending shows but I'm not that girl. So I think that maybe, I want to say 17, 18, I started to do my articles. And I didn't know they were articles because I just was doing research and like kind of writing on WordPress and putting it together with my life. And it kind of went up on Twitter. And that's kind of what inspired me, like how I started.
In reading your stuff, one, I applaud your transparency and your vulnerability. I often tell my students, I'm a middle school teacher, like there's ability in vulnerability. Yes, right? So with that, what gave you that ability to just be, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna share my experiences, share my life, my story with people? Like what gave you that strength? Or how did you find that?
So in 2014, my mom passed. I was at a very, I was young, so my mind was kind of like really, I was going through a lot, and I wasn't as strong-minded as I was. Then I got into like a horrible relationship. And then I realized that I had, there was a tone in my life, right? Like there was something that I was setting in my life that kind of showed me, I was shutting my own voice out. I wasn't able to say what I wanted to say. And I had WordPress, like I had my blog, and I had Twitter, but I never shared it with anybody except for the people on Twitter, which they're like family by now because I've had Twitter for 15 years.
Oh,
so yeah, so I think I just kind of got tired of not being heard, And then 2 years ago, well now almost 3 years ago, I came into the space, and I met my manager. And she kind of told me, like, let's try to revamp this a little bit and rebrand because I did want to go away from what was my old blog, which was Inside My Karma. I felt like Inside My Karma was a very dark space for me. Like, I thought that everything in life was happening because I did something. And that's just not true. Like, I feel like now, as long as you're living, you're going to go through something.
We'll do here in the second part. We can just do it right there by the Bronx collab.
Okay, we'll do that. So the drink in the camera is fine?
No, you're fine. You can have it. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. Because if anything, we could edit, crop it out. And so you're going to get sued. Oh. And if you try anything slick, we also have you saying, fuck with you on the camera.
Okay. Wow.
So you can use that as ammunition, you know what I'm saying? You can use that.
Hey, I've
Tread lightly.
Lord have mercy.
She's a scary person.
I take that back.
It's genuine, it just happened. Even when I went away to college to Buffalo, and I ended up living in the hood. I didn't know it was the hood.
Buffalo.
Yeah. And I ended up establishing a community there as well. And the kids would come up to us because we were college kids and they would ask for stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that that was like philanthropy, right? That's what they call it now. Yeah. Back then I was just helping people out. So that kind of established there as well, just like kind of knowing your neighbors and being friendly. And my sister will attest to this, like I'm super friendly. So I don't have a problem with inviting neighbors in or going to neighbors when they need something. My love for my community just started by being here. And then 3 years ago, I ended up in the space, the Bronx Collab, and it just kind of been up since then, I just didn't know that I was already doing it. So meeting Coach T and being able to collaborate together was just a blessing because it's right in my neighborhood and I'm able to just provide for the community as well and just have a space to do it in.
Angie, Rachel, what is love?
Love is a feeling and love is passing. Love is an experience. Those are my 3 things for love. Love is an experience.
Have you ever been in love?
I don't know. I think, like, cause that's it.
Because she said like every 3 weeks, almost like.
Yeah. It's like, cause it depends, cause people define it so differently. Like, some people tell me, like, when you're in love, you're gonna know, and you're gonna want to get married, and it's like, oh my God. So maybe yes, I have. Like, there was one time I was gonna freaking elope. For real. Like, it was a real thing. Like, we were planning everything.
I love this quote by Idris Elba. He said, men fall in love with what they see, women fall in love with what they hear, which is why women will always wear makeup and men will always lie.
Remember? Yeah, like, it was a real thing. Like, I was just like,
And in 3 weeks, we'll get divorced.
yeah, and I was like, no, we said it. We were like, and what was cool about him was that he was as crazy as I was.
Okay.
Well, not crazy. He was just as open as I was. So he was like, listen, baby girl, if it doesn't work, what we gonna do? So I felt seen. I felt like I could be me. Like, but, what is it called? A 360? No, cash 22.
Catch 22.
Cash 22 is a lot. But I felt seen and I felt like I could be me and I could be free. And like I was able to like still grow and I wasn't being hindered. I felt at peace. I felt very safe.
Jeez, what happened?
He was trying to catch her.
Yeah, what happened was that it like what always happens. Like it's a fucking nightmare. Like it's just like it's like Groundhog Day for me. So it's like everything's great, passion, ooh, love, sex, everything, exploration, and then out of nowhere it's like, hey, better wake up. Like, you know, like it's like
Not the Nate dog.
yeah, it's like it's always something like that happens within the situation where I'm being told to stop. But the West Side album, I listened to it back to back.
He's a fucking artist. It's
Yes,
art.
that's the thing.
That's
He's
my
an
favorite
artist.
guy.
Yeah, he's an artist. That's a fact.
My favorite one is.
Yeah.